Hi friends, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So we're talking about jobs today. It's in the headlines and I want to share some stuff with you guys and get your thoughts as well. So let's just jump right in. You can see here, Google cuts jobs at Waze as it continues to merge mapping products. And full disclosure, I really like Waze. There's different options out there, and I just like that little sort of smiley face cars that they use. But unfortunately, if you're working for Waze, and they did get bought out by Google, I think it was like $1 billion deal or 1.5, so yeah, 1.3 billion in 2013. But evidently, though, they're going to be like merging jobs and merging offices in order to streamline. You can see here, this is coming from Google. They're saying, we decided to transition Waze ads monetization to be managed by global business organizations similar to Google Maps. Unfortunately, this will result in the reduction of Waze monetization-focused roles in sales, marketing, operation, and analytics. All of these types of jobs, I think sales and marketing ones are the ones that are in tough shape right now because when the economy slows, right, there's just less money flowing around. There's less people who want to advertise. And we've talked about these kind of jobs with, companies like Twitter and these kind of things. Now, analytics, data stuff, I think you're still going to be useful at other places, but yeah, sales and marketing I think is going to be tough. Also too, I just saw this is also recent headlines. Ford plans to lay off at least 1,000 contract and salary workers. And I guess it's mostly engineers is what it says in North America. It's interesting that they state North America because I do know Ford has, operations all around the world. So this is something that is a bit concerning, obviously. Because, usually engineers are in demand, but evidently Ford, again, just like Google is trying to cut costs. You can see here, they're saying that it's going to be in the gas engine and commercial vehicles division. Also to be cutting people white collar workforce in the electric vehicle and software side of business. So it sounds like many, and the other thing too, I thought it was interesting, they were saying that managers of the company held meetings Monday in which they informed employees that layoffs were coming and that an affected team should work from home for the rest of the week. And, obviously that would be not great news that you find out, on Monday. And then, they kind of want to keep people, out of the office and not spread, bad vibes to the company after your team is, had to force to lay off people. And sometimes in these situations, your manager may not even know. He may get, or she may get the sort of word from higher up. The reason why I'm talking about these things is I want you guys to always be, prepared, either, at your company, kind of get a sense of what's going on. Are they hiring? Are they firing? These sort of things. And also, too, always be building out your network to make sure that you have somewhere to go just in case. It's very, very important. I mean, these are real companies, right? Google and Ford, they're nothing to sneeze at. And there's been a really interesting sort of shift in the culture, but it's been going like this a long time where companies, universities, like I mentioned universities, I was a professor, but they would want to do freelance side hustle or essentially, temp workers, independent, et cetera. Basically, companies are not so crazy about hiring people full time because it costs more money. And it was interesting. This is done by McKinsey last year, but they were estimating that 36% of the workforce is independent workers, and then you define that as being gig or contract, freelance, temp, gig, etc. So this is, I think, numbers going to go higher, especially with work from home, because the basic gist of it is that if you're salaried full time, they expect you to come into the office, put your butt in the seat, sit at the desk, and your manager watches you and makes sure that you're working hard and stuff like that. Whereas temporary people come and go in and out, or you just stay at home entirely. And then when everyone shifts to work from home, I think one of the big sort of things that people didn't take too seriously is that if you prove that your job can now be done at home, what's to stop the company from shipping your job to somewhere else where they could pay someone less? And it means somewhere else like another country. And I'm not, saying how can I say it? What's the right best to say it? I'll put it this way. If you're, have a skill that is easily replaced, and they can easily find it for, say, 1/3 of what they pay you, I think it would be pretty tough for a company when, sort of the economy is slowing and there's publicly traded and they're getting pressure from shareholders to cut costs and, raise profits, stuff like that. I think it'd be tough to keep your job. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. So this is sort of why that, you always want to be building skills that are valuable, that you can't be replaced. And this is something that I always like to hear in comments of people say, that, my job will never get rid of me. They can't replace me. That's the position you want to be in. If you take a look at this is another one example, the same basic kind of thing. The war over remote work, companies are turning full-time job into low-paying gigs. Same kind of numbers. So this is actually coming from the government numbers. So they're saying many companies, part-time employees now make up 23% of the company, contractors 18.4, domestic outsourcing 15.7, temps 13.3, offshoring 7.3. I think the offshoring will grow. That would be my opinion on that. If you're looking for a high-paying job, there was an interesting article also that just came out. Highest-paying jobs in every state. Basically, it's all in the medical field. You guys can see it for yourself. Like, they have physicians, and if you want to be a cardiologist, etc. I guess construction managers in a few places that would be like Wisconsin or Texas. But most of these are gonna be even like let's see, radiologists, pharmacists. These kind of jobs are going to pay pretty well. Now, to be fair though, this isn't necessarily a completely accurate list, and this is why. So we all know, going to medical profession is a good job because there's never going to be an end to where people care about their health, right? You're always going to have a job as a physician, essentially, or something related to that. Nurses would fit in this category as well. But the thing is, though, that this is a little bit misleading because they do not include jobs to where few people do it. So, except for example, if you take this example, we'll use Texas. I'm pretty sure the people who play for the the Major League Baseball team or NFL and NBA, etc., they get paid a lot more money than a doctor, right? The reason why those kind of jobs aren't included on the list is because you have to have at least 1,000 people doing said job, right? So it's just that you can't really include those kind of jobs. It's not really something that a regular person can really aspire to. Very few people can do that kind of job. And the other one is it needs to be a salary that's posted and public. So some jobs, could be they're not like a regular salary. You're kind of like seasonal or your commission base, etc. Right? So I just wanted to say that yes, these are some good jobs, but there are other jobs out there, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If maybe you're not included on the list because it doesn't quite fit in with this kind of the criteria. Remember, it has to have at least 1,000 people do your job, and it's publicly listed salary. The other thing is too, which this one is not necessarily everyone wants to be a doctor, but I do think it's never a bad idea to tell your kid to do that. And a good salary these days, according to this, is around 300, which is sort of an average for these kind of jobs. One thing is that this was an interesting one. People are concerned, right? If say Google and Ford are laying off, right? And there's a lot of tech workers, who is hiring? So according to this, they were saying hotel chains are hiring, retailers, investment firms, railroad companies, and even the IRS. But the big one, at least this article, and it may be a PR piece for the government, but they're saying basically the government, the IRS in particular, is definitely hiring. It's kind of interesting. They were saying here, sectors who are hiring, they're looking for software engineers, data scientists, and cybersecurity specialists, right? So I've mentioned this before several times. I think cybersecurity is probably going to be one of the really good fields to be in for years to come. I don't see an end to that. I guess theoretically, AI could take away some of these cybersecurity jobs, but you still need someone to, make the AI, maintain the AI, write the AI program, et cetera, et cetera. But I just think cybersecurity is a good field, and I mentioned before, I think the medical profession is good, and I mentioned several times as well. I think the trade professions, the be it your plumber, electrician, working on EVs, anything in sort of green space like installing solar panels, any of these kind of stuff. I think those are going to be really, really good jobs going forward as well. So there's a lot of different things out there. And also, too, in the community, I always like to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? What do you think good jobs are going to be in the future? And I also want to mention this, too. I always mention, these scam people like me, Kevin, this kind of stuff. I went to zero to millionaire with real estate investing. The reason why I mention this stuff is just be very, very leery of these kind of people. They're always selling you scammy courses, and whenever someone says, you're going to, be awesome in real estate and you're going to build wealth and you have zero experience or even just a little bit of experience, you get that passive income, side hustle, et cetera, et cetera. It's just be careful out there. I show you all this stuff and stats every day because I want you to know the truth, right? The truth is that in this particular economy, it's going to be tough. It's been trending that way for a long time. to get a full-time job with benefits, because companies are now sort of trying to cut costs. And so that's why I said so many times, make sure you have the skills, be upgrading your skills all of the time, right? It's not just you finish your college education and you stop learning. You're always continually learning. Anyway, I love to hear your thoughts on these topics. I do appreciate everyone's time, and I'll catch you next video.